I was meaning to ask you about that. I was like, I wonder if you've seen the fight sticks I've worked on. Normally, Normally, my main ones are dual mod or just mod with Brook Universal, and then if it's usually like a Moss stick or someone who like really likes retro, like Dreamcast or PS1, I'll dual mod that with an MC Cthulhu or PS360 Plus. Though I usually go MC Cthulhu because those are more accessible, and they work pretty well. So what comes with the dual mod is I install it's called a Dpd Switch that makes it so that you can switch between the two devices without having to like hold any buttons down and stuff. You just change it. I also install Nutric ports. Here I can show you like what a cable looks like. So this is a Nutric port. So you just I'll show you what it looks like when it's attached. It's actually a nice way to keep your cable, you know, clean and stuff. So here's the Dpd switch I mentioned before. So I have two circuit boards in here, and then the Nutric port, it goes in like this. See, so now you can't remove it unless you hit the button that's on top here. So really good for like, you know, keeping it secure mid play. One button. It's a little flashy, but I think just the appearance of it is always just like, you know, might as well add a little spice to your fight stick. There, much better. Yep. So it looks like a, you know, insert coin. It's actually just a button. It just looks like you can insert coin. Yeah. Just a nice. The problem that when you get them is that they don't come. Some of them don't come with a proper LED because they're not strong enough. So I had to buy some LEDs so that they fit. But the ones I got are really nice and bright. And on top of that, it's a nice way of telling you that the fight stick is powered up. Because if you don't have like any indicators that it's powered up, sometimes you don't know if you're plugged in or if things are working properly. But yeah, I just bought them off eBay. Just look up coin button, you'll find it. I can print up artwork. It depends on what it is. Usually for the Moss sticks, since they don't normally use a plexiglass, I'll just get a vinyl print done for it. That's artwork. Usually there's some drilling involved, so that involves drilling in the said Nutric ports and Dpd switches. Installing the buttons and fight stick. So it depends on what goes in. That's most of it, and of course wiring it all up, which you would think is actually the easiest part, but only because you have to manage so many wires, and I like to solder things in place instead of just keep them stripped and then just insert with the screwdriver. You have to solder the tips, or else it'll even loose out easier, because not all wire gauges are intended to be like, you know, if you don't tin the wire with solder, then it becomes really frail. Oh yeah. That's like, actually, it's funny. I was trying to get a focus attack on trying to get a plexiglass for Moss sticks, but it turns out, like, since the Moss sticks were all made by hand, by Tao, they're not all exactly the same shape. They're similar in size, like the face, but the plexis would have varying degrees of compatibility. So he couldn't make it so that they're all the same. But the template is fine. Here, let me see if I can get a pic of my recent stick that I actually need to ship out today, because it's already boxed up. I have a picture of it. There, sweet. So that's just an example of one. Here's another one. Here's another one that I sent to the first guy. They're friends. They know each other. But I finished this one weeks ago. Oh wow, back in September. So you just provide the artwork, and I can print it up. My guy doesn't matter if he doesn't care if it's like licensed or something, as long as it looks good. So yep. That's artwork print. Otherwise, if it has like a plexiglass, like a Mad Catz TE, then I'll just get that sent out to Focus Attack, and they'll send it out, print it up for you, buttons and stuff all cut out. Yeah. What else is offered? That's usually it. I think most people just entrust the care to it to me because they don't trust themselves with a soldering iron or know what parts to order, so it makes sense. Because I wouldn't want to order the wrong things either. So I just try to fit that around my schedule. I have 2 sticks I need to finish. 1 is sent out, that's already done, like I mentioned. But that's generally it. I'm trying to think of anything else I would do. On some of the moss sticks, I can change out the, what do you call it? The T-molding. That doesn't cost much. It's like you buy a strand of it and you just cut it with a what do you call it? An X-Acto knife, and then sand it down. I have a Dremel. You see, so I have the tools. Like the main thing is where the labor goes into is that I bought all the tools. I know what to do with everything. So that's generally how I factor in the cost. Like I try to make it reasonable, but not like absurd. Because I'm just doing it in my free time anyways. So it's not like I do it for a living. It's just a little money on top for me. So I try to make it make sense. Oh yeah. I mean, luckily all you have to do is just cut it out. But on the corners, you want to like cut it down the middle so that when you bring it down, you bend it down, it doesn't like pop up. So you have to like create a little groove. You have to cut a little groove for the corners. But then you might want to hot glue it down. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.